Hi, my name is Kevin Donahue. I'm a senior project architect with Strang, and on the Pabst mansion, I was senior project architect and study lead for the full building assessment that was performed to determine the conditions of the building. Some of the challenges were dealing with not only the history of the building, but also the history of the changes and the work that were done in the past. It's not about simply coming and saying, oh, you have a roof leak here, but it's about understanding why is the roof leak there? How does that affect everything else? What are the other things going in? In a building like this with such a long and storied history, it's also about how do we set priorities? Because more often than not, you're going to have multiple things that require emergency action. How do you establish which ones can you do first? Which ones can you put off? The whole idea is having an informed client, letting them know this is what's going on, this is what it's going to take to fix it, and realizing that they can't fix it all at once because typically they don't have the funds for everything. And so it's informing them, letting them make a decision whereby they realize, yes, we're going to address this first, and we realize this is going to continue to be a problem, and that this over here may get a little worse over time. But in the end, they've made the correct choice because it's their choice based on the best information available to them. What I enjoyed most about working on this project is the discovery, getting in, understanding how the building works. I tell my clients, I'm going to speak for the building. I am going to be the building's advocate. And so I have to hold a discussion with the building. And while I may be asking questions, I have to listen. I have to listen to what the building's telling us, either through observations or when we're able to do a slightly destructive investigation where we may be opening up a wall, looking behind a panel, taking a light switch off even. It's the idea, though, of really understanding the building for itself. What is it going through? And to me, that's of great interest. One of the nice things about the report that we did was we took a holistic approach to it. Not all the restoration work needs to be accomplished under the supervision of an architectural team. So when we do our reports, what we're looking for is not how to patch something. We're trying to identify what is wrong and can it be fixed. Sometimes it's built into the building and you can't change it because that's the building technology of the time. That's the character of the building. Other times you can come in and you can make suggestions and recommendations. And so the idea that we had on the Pabst was, okay, let's start looking at best of all possible worlds. When you get to this point and you can do this or do that, we're putting reminders in the report. We're putting in points of view. We're putting in recommendations, not just for immediate needs, but also midterm needs and long-term needs. The whole idea is how do we serve the house? Again, it gets back to the idea that I'm speaking for the building. And even though I may not be involved in everything, the Pabst now has a document that they can turn to and they can refer to when doing additional work. And one of the things that we do when we put a document together is we keep it as a loose bound document rather than permanently sewn together. And that's because a building assessment should be a living document so that 5 years down the road they're doing more work. Hey, can you come in and take a look at this? We can update the report. We can say this has been done, this now needs to move up to be done, this has gotten worse. And so it's a living document, and it also provides a history for future workers so that they can come back and say, oh, this is what was done. This is what was recommendation. Today we heard Todd talk about how, hey, this is what I was told. I got a copy of the report, and sure enough, there it is in the report. And some of the questions I had, you've already got it covered in the report. So it's a matter of not just creating something for a coffee table. This is a living, usable document that can be referred to constantly and that can be updated. It's an asset to the building.